Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Friday, February 23rd, 2024. We made it through another week, and this week is going to be ending on a bit of a wet note. We have a shortwave moving through in this subtropical jet stream, and the polar jet stream's trying to catch up, but just wasn't fast enough. So we have the showers moving through, but we don't have much in the way of cold air to work with. So there you have it, with the threat for any type of snowfall for this week is pretty much kaput. And I'll explain why going forward, there probably isn't going to be much of a better chance going into March at all, despite what you might be hearing in social media land. Let's deal with reality, shall we? And reality is that the polar jet stream is about to shift into a state of change because the polar vortex, which is being severely disrupted, is getting kicked over towards Asia. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that the polar jet stream starts to retract to the north, and so does all of the polar and Arctic air with it. But the subtropical jet stream, that's remaining active. That still has influences from El Nino, and you're going to still see several shortwaves moving through. So yes, we'll be moving towards a warmer weather pattern, but not a drier one. We'll continue to be under the influence of strong shortwaves moving through. Coming in from the Pacific, you can see them lining up already back here over the Central Pacific. In fact, let's rotate through. And you can see all the way back, we got a nice trough moving off Japan. We got another strong shortwave here over the Central Pacific, one moving into the West Coast. And of course, we have our other shortwave that is moving through right now. So certainly a string of storms are on the way. We can see that in the observations right now. So when we take a look at the model guidance here for the long range pattern, you can see over the next 10 days on both the European and the GFS, this gradual zonal look and then retraction. Now, this is all happening because on the other side of the earth, in Russia and Europe, you're going to get very amplified, blocky weather pattern with cold air and Arctic air bleeding into locations like Germany, Russia, much of Eastern Europe, parts of Turkey, those locations. But for us, while that is all happening, and you see this signal of, hey, there's a negative NAO block, yes, but the whole polar jet stream is shifted northward. So you get this trough here over the west coast here that tries to organize. And you get this broad ridge. You don't get the amplification of the blocking and the support for a sustained trough in the polar jet stream. Meanwhile, the subtropical jet stream, you can see that right here, remains pretty active. So you have a relatively Pacific air mass coming in from the Pacific with some influences from the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. And you get all your polar and Arctic air pretty much bottled up over Canada and sometimes bleeding into the Pacific Northwest. And that's shown up here on the ensemble guidance and on the GFS guidance. So there's pretty strong agreement on this evolution. As we get towards the end of that 10-day period, well, we even lose our negative NAO block. We have a deep trough in the west. You can see it here on the GFS, also supported. So again, in the polar jet stream, ridge over the eastern United States. In the subtropical jet stream, you can see in both the European and the GFS that you have these troughs moving through. That's going to be transporting moisture from the Gulf of Mexico up into our neck of the woods, setting up for some rainy periods of weather. As you can see, as we move through the beyond the 10-day period on the ensembles, and I like using the ensembles rather than the operational because it kind of gives you a better idea, kind of removes some of the noise and it takes and minors out some of the extreme solutions. So when you're using the GFS out this far out, you can get some pretty funky solutions. You get weird hurricanes popping up, unrealistic upper level lows, unrealistic storms. This is why you don't take anything beyond 10 days, really beyond 7 days, on the GFS or European guidance too much uh, for certain. Okay, you use a huge grain of salt, but once you get past 10 days on, in terms of specific storm impacts or specific pattern configurations, you kind of want to take a step back and use a little bit of common sense here and say, okay, it may not look exactly like this. In terms of the ensembles, you kind of get a better idea of minoring out those extreme solutions. So you kind of get a better feel on the overall pattern. And the overall feel that we're seeing as we move out into early March is basically our subtropical jet stream remains very active. So I expect to experience plenty of rain potential. But this signal right here, not so much the red here, that's not the key point here. The key point here is the nature of the polar jet stream. See how it's kind of aligned from west to east? That means nothing could drop south, as in no polar Arctic air masses can really drop south and remain sustained. You might get a quick swing through, maybe 24 hours of chilly conditions from a polar air mass, but nothing can be sustained in terms of cold air. And the heart of your cold air, it all gets bottled up here because your winds in the upper levels are going to be going from west to east. So you're not going to have that potential. Okay. So as a result, that's what we're heading towards. Now, beyond this point, could we see a shift? Absolutely. But by the time we get to mid-March, then you're talking about a sun angle about pretty much similar to what you would see in September. So anyone who's talking about snow in mid to late March, well, if you're in the Green and White Mountains, sure. If you're in the highest peaks in the Poconos and Catskills, sure. If you're in New York City, likely not, unless everything comes together like literally perfectly. So, of course, I'll be keeping an eye on that, but that is where we're heading towards, and that's generally where we're moving towards in terms of a milder, wetter pattern. Meanwhile, currently we have the cold front moving through, an area of low pressure to our south, and the frontal passage starting to move through, overcast cloud cover, some areas of low clouds, a few showers here and there. Not a washout in any way, shape, or form, but a bit damp out there, with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior, lower to mid 40s along the coast, with winds starting to veer to the northwest as our frontal passage moves through. And you can see on WeatherTap, our areas of low pressure sliding through with our cold front passage, the bulk of the steady rainfall down towards the southern mid-Atlantic, but we continue to see showers moving through the area. And as the low pressure system lifts to the northeast, we'll continue on with the threat for those showers over the region. And you can see on our latest 850 millibar map from the SPC, again, the spc.noaa.gov, free website. So definitely go in there, check it out, because it has a lot of great learning tools. So if you're a young, interested meteorologist, you interested in high school, definitely check out this website. I wish I had it when I was a kid, because you could go and click in on some of these question marks here. Like you could go right here and you can learn about all of these different features and what they mean. So definitely check that out. Right now, we have our cold front moving through in this subtropical jet stream. Notice not much in the way of cold air transport. Temperatures are relatively mild. Back here is the polar jet stream with the polar shortwave. Again, not enough time to catch it. This is more of a neutral trough. This is more of a positively tilted trough. So the timing's off on this. But by the time we get to this evening, this strong cold air transport will be coming in, and that will be building in for this weekend. And you can see on the infrared satellite picture, the short wave is moving through. We have some lifting here, which is supporting scattered showers. As you can see, over the next 24 hours, all that lifting pushes off the coast. So by this evening, we are clearing out. Our polar jet streams back here towards the Great Lakes, our polar shortwave. Take a look at the cold air transport. Still by this evening, it has not caught up. But as we move towards tomorrow, the polar shortwave moves through. Not much in the way of precipitation because the air mass is dry now, but the cold air transport is very strong. So our temperatures are going to be a bit chilly tomorrow and on through the weekend. And then we start to see that rebound as we head towards early next week. So by the time we get to early next week, for the most part, we have our short waves relatively weak. We're going to have to watch out on Tuesday. We'll have a warm front move through, and look at this warm air transport. So you can see the warm front moving through. The heart of the warmest air remains down towards the Gulf Coast, okay, and down towards the Mississippi River Valley. It doesn't really reach our area all that much. Could clip portions of, let's say, southern New Jersey and Delaware. Why is that important? Well, we're going to have a cold front moving through around that time on Wednesday, and that's going to support a cold front. And this is supporting pretty strong frontogenesis, pretty strong cold air transport behind it. And we have warm, relatively unstable, say conditionally unstable air ahead of this cold front. There could be the potential on Wednesday afternoon for some thunderstorms, so showers and a few rumbles of thunder, a little bit of lightning. I don't think anything severe. That's going to be more focused down towards the Gulf Coast if we see anything like that. But certainly our first round of thunderstorms will be lining up. And like I said, with the nature of these polar air masses, your heart of the Arctic air stays up here and we kind of swing through. And look how the polar air mass basically lasts for about 24 hours, maybe 36 at the most, and then it basically pulls out. And then we remain with this Pacific dominated air mass with the potential for some downslope and pushing temperatures back into the 60s as we move through this forecast period. So certainly a very interesting pattern, one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Again, we got these short waves moving through, so definitely potential for showers. So let's walk through this forecast for today. Periods of showers, not a watch out, but some pesky showers here and there, with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 40s throughout the region. Tonight into tomorrow, the skies start to clear, the cold air starts to bleed in, with low temperatures falling into the mid-teens to mid-20s over the northern interior. Again, this is where the cold air is starting to come in, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. For tomorrow afternoon, sky cloud cover is expected, with high temperatures ranging from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, mid to upper 30s along the coast. On Sunday, clear skies, temperatures are going to be able to plummet with light winds. Low temperatures will range from the mid to upper teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. If we get enough clearing and the winds really die off, I would not be surprised to seeing lower teens in locations like northeastern Pennsylvania, around the Catskills, locations like that, even northwestern New Jersey. So definitely a very cold morning on Sunday. By Sunday afternoon, with sky cloud cover and temperatures starting to shift more to the southwest, will warm up with high temperatures ranging from the mid 30s to lower 40s throughout the region. On Monday, we'll have a weak trough move through with a few isolated showers. Other than that, sky cloud cover is expected. Look for low temperatures to range from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast, and mid to upper 50s in the Delaware River Valley. On Tuesday, a warm front will approach with showers developing throughout the region. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 30s for lows. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast, and upper 50s to lower 60s in the Delaware River Valley. On Wednesday, the cold front moves through with showers and, yes, a few thunderstorms. Not expecting anything severe, but don't be surprised to get some rumble of thunder, a little bit of flash of lightning here and there. Temperatures on Wednesday. Now, this is going to kind of depend on the timing of the cold front here, but the way we're looking at it is the cold front passes through in the mid to late afternoon hours. So that's going to lead to low temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s, high temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the interior and along the coast, lower to mid 60s in the Delaware River Valley. If we get a delay in that cold front, we could actually see a few upper 60s mixed in here on Wednesday afternoon. On Thursday, high pressure will build in with clear skies, a bit chillier, with low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, mid to upper 20s along the coast, high temperatures ranging from the upper 30s to lower 40s over the interior and along the coast, lower to mid 40s in the Delaware River Valley. And on Friday, March 1st, sky cloud cover is expected. A storm will be approaching from the south, so we'll see some rain starting to invade towards the late evening hours, but should be a dry day for the most part. Look for low temperatures to range from the upper 20s to lower 30s and high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 50s. That is your forecast discussion for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and as always, Stay safe out there.